This is an uncensored podcast about sex, sexuality, gender, and body stuff. Listener discretion is advised. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the person or persons sharing them. Some names have been changed to protect the anonymity of its participants. Hello, friends. It's me, Drew Michael, and this is Make Sex With Me, a podcast about sex. I'm just like a real rundown tonight. I am recording on a Wednesday night for this episode that comes out tomorrow. And then tomorrow I'm spending the day printing and distributing marketing materials for my comedy show. And then Friday I work all day. And then Saturday I work a little bit. And then we do the comedy show. So yeah, that's that. Oh my God, I literally just heard my stomach making a gurgle. It's so weird. The microphone's picking up a lot right now. I'm not really sure what to do about it. So yeah, I'm still getting over this cold. I have this just annoying crud in my lungs still and in my sinuses, but I'm not in any kind of pain. I'm just kind of oh good, this shit. And then I'll just try to cough some shit loose, and then suddenly I'll be oh, I'm gonna pass out. That's fucking awesome. So, how are you guys? How are you doing? I am going to promise you guys that we will have longer episodes coming in the future. We will have episodes with guests on them coming in the future. I am just going to have to do this one last week of a Quickisode because I just don't have anything left to give. I mean, I have a little bit left to give. I need something. You guys, I need something. I need to be taking care of myself. It's so nice to be busy and doing things that help people and doing things that make you feel like you're really utilizing your talents and blah, 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 blah. But it's so important. Yeah, it's so important to take care of yourself physically, mentally, all the things. I haven't even been working out regularly, and I have not been eating well. And I've just been kind of doing crazy amounts of shit. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. I don't know where this clipping sound is coming from. Oh, I think it's because the pop filter was right on the mic. Okay. Well, that's better now. So, it just fell. Okay, how do we fix it? Okay, good. So, this is going to be a little bit of a dump another little cum dump of an episode here. There are some things that I want to share with you. First of all, something that I found on PerezHilton.com. I don't really like Perez Hilton. I don't really, go to his website very often. I don't dislike Perez Hilton. I'm just kind of like, okay, cool. So yeah, so I found this. I mean, I was on Twitter and I found it, and it just happened to be something, and it does say that it's it says warning potentially triggering content. It is triggering content. It's not triggering for some people, but if you're triggered by sexual abuse and rape, then it definitely is. So basically, this guy in Louisiana, he was sentenced recently to be physically castrated after he impregnated a 14-year-old girl. So there's more to it. He groomed this girl. He threatened her. He threatened her family. He was raping her and basically trying to make the family and the girl afraid to tell anybody about it. But it turns out that the poor girl, who was only 14, got pregnant. So, oops. So anyway, this is in Springfield, Louisiana. He's been found guilty, and he's supposed to serve 50 years in prison. And they, it says here that, so Glenn Sullivan Sr., earlier this month, he pleaded guilty to 4 counts of second-degree rape in a courtroom in Louisiana. They handed down his sentence. In addition to the half-century behind bars, Sullivan also had an option given to him by the court based on his plea deal. He could either be chemically castrated or physically castrated, and he chose the latter. Apparently, this is common in Louisiana law. Men who are convicted of certain rape offenses, including the repeated sexual assault of children, as in Sullivan's case, are subject to being castrated. And usually it is the chemical castration, which it says involves the use of drugs to stop the production of sex hormones in their bodies. But then the physical one is you literally surgically remove the man's testicles. And apparently they gave him the choice, and he said that one. Now, there's two options. Either they do the castration immediately, or the other option is that they wait to do it 1 week prior to his release from prison. Now, the guy's already 54, so he's probably not going to be... he's probably going to die in prison. If he serves the full 50 years, which he also probably won't. But even if he served half that sentence, he'd be I don't know, 25 and 54. What is that? 80 years old or something. So, it's kind of we're going to cut off an old man's testes, an old man who might not actually, be using them very much. Now the chemical castration, actually apparently really deadens your desire to be, I think, what's that? It stops the production of sex hormones in the body. Well, that doesn't exactly mean it deadens your desire to be sexual. The whole thing is kind of interesting and very old school because it's not, castration doesn't keep you from being a sex offender. It's not going to make him not sexually abuse or rape somebody in the future if he was released from jail. the castration wouldn't do that. Um, if anything, they should cut his dick off. Honestly, if they're trying to punish him for being a piece of shit, like they should just cut his fucking dick off. Honestly, I'm not sure what the cutting of the balls off has anything to. Apparently, they do kind of seem to want to make an example out of him, which is, it's kind of interesting because it's not like a new thing. Like, these laws aren't new. The crime he's committed isn't really new. Sure, it's happened a lot before, and we don't even know about prior cases of this happening. So, like, is this really making an example at all? No. We're going to just forget about this guy, and then someone else is going to do something equally as terrible, right? So it's like the whole, like, strong, capital punishment or torture, or things like, like when they used to publicly torture people outside in, a public court, not court, but courtyard, like a common marketplace. I don't know. That was all to, like, the thought was that, oh, show everyone what happens if you break the law or if you do something really bad, and then they won't do it. But, like, studies show that doesn't work. Like, really doesn't work. So, apparently if people are going to do bad shit, knowing that they're doing something wrong or knowing that they could get in trouble isn't enough to keep them from doing bad shit. So, it's kind of like, I don't know, it might serve some form of, like, poetic justice to the victim and their family. Like, if, like, this man did this man stole this from you, so, like, we want his balls removed. And I don't know if they want to, like, have them bronzed and, like, put over their mantle or something, or maybe they throw them to, I don't know, some hungry dogs. I don't really know. It is interesting, and it is not surprising that a state like Louisiana, does it matter, would have such archaic forms of punishment on their books. But it is surprising that they would be so, I don't know. I don't know if it's surprising that they would want such harsh punishment for a sex offender, but I do feel like sex offenders go unchecked. I mean, this is more than sex offender. This is like a rapist, but I don't know, these things they kind of get unchecked. There's so many stories of rapists being convicted of things and then getting off on technicalities or not serving a full sentence, and a lot of times the sentence given is, like, super long, and then they're like, I don't know, they serve 5 years and then they get released on good behavior or something. Shit like that happens all the fucking time. So, I mean, keep your eyes on this guy because he deserves to rot in fucking prison. But, yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting that this is happening. I have a lot of qualms with, I mean, the problem is this. Okay, so chemical castration's actually been used a lot in this country on people without their permission. There's a history of people in prison being castrated chemically who aren't even convicted of rape or sexual abuse or anything. Like, they're just doing it. Like, I think they were doing a lot of testing on prison inmates at a lot of points in history in this country, especially. Where they're like, well, we want to try this out, see what this does. And oops, we castrated him. Sorry. Not sorry. They also used to chemically castrate men and women who were in like mental health facilities, like asylums or whatever you want to call them, state hospitals, things like that. And there was a huge push to eliminate the undesirables, essentially. Like, you know, it was like there was a huge push to like, oh, this is a woman of color who has 6 kids, and she has all her kids are from different daddies, and you know she can't afford to pay her bills, and she's got some mental health problems, and she gets in trouble, or she gets put into some kind of like a state-run home or whatever, and then they're like, well, we need to, there was like literally movements to have people like that castrated, chemically castrated, so they couldn't reproduce, and then like or I guess sterilized, chemically sterilized, right? And then there was also movements to have their children sterilized so that they couldn't reproduce. And it comes from the whole fucking eugenics thing. It comes from the whole like study of like the supreme white race, and like it comes from like slowly erasing people of color's culture and their whole existence. It's almost like white people being like, well, if we can't enslave people, then let's just get rid of them. They're not going to serve us in some way. Let's just get rid of them. That got dark. Shit. So yeah, very interesting. I think it violates, you know, castrating a person as a punishment definitely violates their autonomy. Sprite. But it also is like, I mean, obviously he violated that poor girl. So I don't know. It's hard for me. I don't want to see someone be in solitary. I don't want to see someone get, you know, killed, you know, put to death for a crime. I don't want to see an innocent person get put in jail and then have to go through a bunch of shit. And then, you know, I mean, there's definitely been innocent people castrated and sterilized. You know, it's just, it's really iffy. We have a sordid past in this country. Moving on, what else did I want to tell you about? The other thing, I have a clip I want to play for you, and it's from a podcast, and it's going to come up here, and I'll be able to tell you what it is called. The podcast.
The gayest piece of science you know.
Gay men were getting food poisoning at 3 times the rate of the rest of society. And they realize it's because you might be blaming your food poisoning on something else, but it's actually just because we're eating so much and it's a fecal oral bacterial transmission.
And there's like specific bacteria, one called like Shigella, that gets spread really easily through the and your mouth goes on that, then that's in your body and is like similar to food poisoning or can be a type of food poisoning. And so they were like, why do gay men get food poisoning so much more than everybody else?
Maybe that's what was wrong with me yesterday.
The gay men is that you still can transmit it from the booty hole for 2 weeks after you haven't had symptoms. So I think one of the reasons why it's happening is people probably are like, okay, I feel better, like come eat my but they still are giving.
Oh my
so
God.
Heidi, you gotta wait a few weeks.
I've never even started. It's the gayest piece of science.
Okay, so that is was posted on a I think that there's a podcast called ASAP Science. It looks like it's like 2 queer guys, and it looks really, really cute. It says, side note by ASAP Science. Very cute. I think they might have been doing a collab or something. Hall and Closet Pod. Hall and Closet Pod. So yeah, it's like 2, it's Hall and Closet. They're 2 Drag Race superstars. Okay, hey, what's up? but anyway, I'm interested in this topic. I obviously I played it. I hope I can legally do that. I think it's public domain. I don't know, but so yeah, so these gay men are being discovered to have food poisoning on a greater scale than non-gay men, in the community, and it's apparently coming from eating ass. They blanked it out on Instagram because apparently you can't say eating ass on Instagram, but that is really interesting. I have not eaten ass in a very long time. And it's so funny. I remember distinctly thinking that eating ass was like a thing for like older gays, not like old, but like older. Like, and this was when I was like probably like, I don't know, 19, and I was like, oh no, like you got to be like 28 to want to eat ass. And like all of my older gay male friends, like they like to eat ass, and I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait on that. And it's weird because I'm not even really sure when I did it for the first time or when I started to like it, but there is something about it. It's just really great. And yeah, I don't know. It's something about like there's these divine shapes in the body. And what's so funny is like it's like certain parts of our body look like, you know, they have these kinds of shapes. So like the butt, it's like two big round masses, and then there's boobs, and boobs are big round masses, and then there's balls, and balls are big round masses, and like there's just a lot of round masses, like big biceps, or your calves, some people's calves if they have calves, which is I guess hard to come by. Um, Even like the little rippling little abs in your abdomen, and like just like that's a divine thing. Or like just seeing someone's bulge through their pants, like it's like this rounded bulging thing, or orbular things. Like these are all just, especially with two big round orbs with like a space or a cleavage or a crack or a crevasse in between. Oh my god, this was so funny. I was at work and I was talking to like my coordinator, and like I was talking to like this guy who's like in charge of fixing shit, and he's like fairly, I don't know if he is Christian, but I think he's like trying to escape it. Anyway, we were talking about like this hole in the drop ceiling of our break room, and it was like he accidentally created it when he was trying to move the tile out of the way to get up there and look at something, and he broke it. And so like he was already saying something about like, well, there's like a hole up there, and then she was saying, well, it looks more like, is that a hole? It looks more like a crack, like it's like a cracked tile. And he's like, no, I don't know, that's a pretty significant hole. And then I said, because I needed to be of use, I guess, I said, well, you guys, oftentimes when there's a crack, there's also a hole. Oh. I don't know if that was audible. My stomach just went like waka waka. And my Christian-y coworkers said nothing, but I think they really appreciated that, my quippy one-liners, and I walked out. I left the room after I said that. It was good times. So yeah, eating ass. I think we're just attracted to asses, like, and that's the thing. It's like you could be like, I saw this really butch muscular chick the other day. I don't know what her pronouns were or how she identified, but I'm pretty sure I was kind of reading you know, where we are and how she dressed and how she presented herself, I'm pretty sure she's just like a dyke, you know? Like, I don't think she's like trying to be a trans man, but she's like really jacked, and she had like a really big, fat, muscular ass, and she was just kind of like walking around, and then I found out she's a fucking fire woman, and I was like, I want her to I was like, I want her to fucking pound me. I want her to take me to Pound Town right now. Pound Town 2 right now. Basically, what was that noise? Hello? Basically, yeah, she just had such a big, beautiful, fat ass. It was like bubbly, but it was also kind of wide, and it was like she was so jacked, like in her other parts of her body and even her butt, and like it was just like very like androgynous hot, and I was just like, oh my god. And also she just, the way she carried herself, it was like she could fucking break me in half, and I was like, okay, this sounds wonderful. She was man. She was so much man. I was like, oh honey, you're not even a snack. You're a whole fucking meal guy. So there's something about these divine shapes. They just like appeal to us, and if we're being honest with ourselves, like I think so many times like people are like, yeah, no homo, none of that gay shit, man. No. But like, you know, you're a pretty good looking guy. And then if you get him drunk, he's like, yeah, dude, you have like a great ass. Like, I always wanted to like tell you, you got a great ass. I mean, no homo, you know, right? Like, because you know, I like chicks and whatever, but like, you know, I can tell my friend, sometimes like, you know, if he's got a hot ass, you know, yeah, man, yeah, I'm proud to call you my friend, man. Yeah, fucking bring it in, man. Let me eat that ass. Um, yeah. I think there are times when, like, you do want to eat your friend's ass, but you don't because you are not gay. You are not gay. But maybe you're not gay. Maybe you just want to eat that ass. I don't know. It's just so good. It's so good. And I wouldn't even sit here and say that, like, ass is good. Like I know pizza's good because I've fucking eaten pizza and it tastes real good. Okay, even bad pizza tastes pretty good. Ass doesn't even really taste like anything. I mean, to eat an ass tastes no different than to like eat to lick your, you know, your own arm or something. I mean, it might be a little bit smellier, a little mustier, you know. I mean, I don't mean like smelly like poopy, you know, because that's not what I'm down for. I mean, I don't want to yuck anybody's poopy yum. Some people like that, literally that shit. But I do not. I do not like that. I do like, you know, just like a little sweat, a little a little musk, a little, you know, a little like, hey, oh, we just got back from like a little jog. Oh, okay. What's it smell like down there? Let's just go see. Yeah. Oh, it's kind of nice. I think I'll live here for a while. Yeah. It's really kind of special. Thank you. Yeah. I'm gonna start doing different voices. I think that's what's good. I'm also working on material right now for my comedy show, so there's that. I was also just listening to a podcast called Bitch Bible. Who's the Bitch Bible? Her name is Gay. You know what? I will never be fully prepared when I'm recording. I refuse. Her name is Jackie Schimmel. Jackie Schimmel. And she's really funny. She is. I don't know who she is or where she came from. I don't know if she like has some kind of like a I don't know where she came from. Cool. Oh. I'm your host, Jackie Schimmel, and welcome. First things first, I would like to apologize for last week's... Oh, that's just the transcript. Oh, God, that's like every word she says in the episode? That's kind of cool. I guess I knew that was a thing. I don't know who she is, but I like her. And she's really funny. And she makes me want to be funnier. And she can do an episode all by herself, like nobody else. And it's like, I mean, I know that I do a lot of that. I'm not sure I'm like acing it, but like when I listen to her, it's like entertaining. Basically, I think I am pretty good at it, but it's only because I spent a lot of my childhood like being essentially like an only child because all my siblings were older than me and they left me and I had like not a lot of friends all the time. So I would just like talk to myself. And yes, I would respond. I would do multiple voices and characters and whatever. It was never like I was just hearing the voices. I created them. I knew they were coming out of my mouth. But yeah, so I could probably sit and talk into a microphone in a room all by myself for quite literally days. But I will not. This is a Quickisode. There's one other thing I want to talk to you guys about, and it's something I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while, and I haven't. And I'm also like not even sure that I want to talk about it right now because I kind of want like another person to like see what I'm talking about as I'm talking about. I would like some reactions. So I'm going to need you guys to like go online and like look up like what I'm talking about so you can see it. Like right now, go ahead and Google pearly penile papules. PPP. So pearly, like a pearl. Actually, is that how you spell pearl? Oh, that is how you spell pearl. The word pear is in the word pearl, it turns out. Penile is in your penis. Papules. Papules. I'm on the clevelandclinic.org website. So I noticed every once in a while I'd see like a penis, not in person, but like, on the internet or like maybe like in porn or something. Probably not like, mainstream porn because seems like the kind of thing they wouldn't, like most people wouldn't be into or whatever. But you'd like see like a dick in around like if you pull the foreskin back, it's not just uncut dicks. I think some cut dicks have them too. If you look around like the coronal head, like the helmet of the dick, not like on the helmet, but like down around, like in that little like groove, that little like moat that runs around the helmet. There's like sometimes little white bumps. Sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're white. And it almost looks like you have, I don't even know what to call it. It's almost like your dick's a porcupine dick or something. But they don't hurt. They're not sharp. They're just made out of skin or whatever. Those are called pearly penile papules. And they're not contagious. They're not some kind of a skin disorder. And they might, I don't know, they could quite possibly add more texture to penetration. I don't know. Let's learn about them. Okay, according to Cleveland Clinic, pearly penile papules are whitish, yellowish, or pinkish bumps that appear in rows around the head of your penis. They aren't an infection, and they're not cancerous. What are pearly penile papules? Pearly penile papules are harmless, rounded, or tiny finger-like growths that are found near the head of your penis. They usually appear in rows and look like white spots or even pearls. They may also look yellow or pinkish. They are benign. Pearly penile papules are rarely found on the shaft of your penis. Some people may get worried when they see the papules because they think they aren't clean enough or might have a sexually transmitted infection. Pearly penile papules are not an STI. However, if you're sexually active, you probably will want to set up an appointment with your healthcare provider to make sure that the bumps are pearly penile papules and not something else. Just right now, I'd like to invite you all to say pearly penile papules and get really good at it because every single time I say it, it makes me happier. Estimates, how common is this condition? It says estimates vary, but as many as 14 to 48% of people with penises. Oh my God. People with penises by the Cleveland Clinic? I'm impressed. That's fucking cool. Okay. I say people with penises. I love that. I say PAP or PWAP. People, person with a penis. That's what I say. And then there's P-wave, person with a vagina. I love that. 14 to 48%. That's a pretty big margin. Oh, okay. So they have no idea. The 14 to 48% of people with penises throughout the world may experience pearly penile papules over the course of their lifetime. It's more common among black people and people with uncircumcised penises. So that's kind of where I got the uncircumcised thought from. These bumps often appear during late puberty. Some of the papules may disappear as you get older. Symptoms. Additional symptoms: pain or burning during urination, discharge from the bumps, itchiness, bleeding. That sounds more like STI shit, though. There's no symptoms except for the development of the bumps. Okay, so additional symptoms could include, but then you'd probably have something else. What causes them? They don't know. They have no idea. Some people believe that they are vestigial parts of the anatomy, parts that once had a purpose but no longer do. Interesting. I wonder what their purpose could have been. I'm afraid it had something to do with like cat dick, where like, you know, like the cat sticks its dick in the other cat, and then like little spores shoot out, and then like it can't get off. It's like every time a cat has sex, it's like rape. You know, so I'm a little afraid. But we're not going to go there. We're not going to pretend that these beautiful pearly penile papules are vestigial rape spores. We're not going to go there. They're not contagious. You can't get them from anyone. And how are they diagnosed? I guess you just fucking look at them. That's how you do it. That's what I said, and that's what it says. Use a dermatoscope. Your provider can clearly tell. Using a dermatoscope, something that dermatologists have, your provider can clearly tell the difference between pearly penile papules and molluscum contagiosum, or genital warts, which are caused by a strain of the human papillomavirus. Yep. Cool. So it looks like you don't do anything, but I think that you should go and look at pictures of it. There's no pictures on the Cleveland Clinic website, which is depressing, but I am going to Google it again because I like to look at things. Pearly, oh shit. What did I just type in? That's not it. Pearly, oh fucking I can't type. Penile papules. It was already in there. My search history. Okay, there they are. Yeah, so some of them are like a lot littler. Some of them just kind of look like you got some dust. Some of them look like really bumpy, like almost like I don't even know what to say. Like mushrooms or something. Yeah, I don't know. There's different ones here. I think like it's just another thing of like we don't understand our bodies and what they're capable of. Oh my god, something says the ultimate pearly penile papules removal system. And then they have like a microscopic image of something that looks like the coronavirus. How to remove pearly penile papules in the privacy of your own home. You can buy that on Amazon. And there's gels. There's different gels you can buy, but I'm feeling like you might burn your penis off. I'm feeling like you might just keep them. I know that they might feel kind of like embarrassing, but like honestly, I don't know. I just think like we just have to know our bodies and just like stop being so freaked out by them, because they're gonna do shit, especially as you get older, that you're like, what is this? What is my body doing? I'm constantly like, I don't understand what my body's doing. And they just don't teach us about things. It's not even just like not teaching us about sex. It's like people don't teach us about anything about our bodies. Like when I first got a stretch mark, like I got this like bump on my back that's like, I'm pretty sure like a tiny little lipoma, but like I would have to have someone cut into it and like remove it, and then like remove the sac and then sew it back up. And like, I'm not going to probably do that unless it gets a lot bigger. But like, we don't learn about shit like that. That's why I love fucking Dr. Pimple Popper, because I get to watch her remove sacs from people's holes and stuff, and not their testicles, not like that. They're people that asked her to remove their sacs. Anyway, all right, guys, that's all I got. I went longer than I thought I would, and I'm pretty impressed with myself, all things considered. But I hope you guys will rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to podcasts. Please leave a 5-star review. That would be awesome. And I hope you guys email me, makesexwithmepodcast@gmail.com. And if anyone's in the Georgetown area of South Carolina, you want to come to a comedy show on Saturday, look it up. It's Laugh Out Loud Comedy for a Cause, and it's going to be a really fun show. And tickets are free if you're gay. How about that? How about that? Not just gay, but like on the spectrum. Any kind of spectrum. You get a ticket. Come see my show. And love you guys. And I hope, you know what, you guys, I really hope that you fill all of your holes with pearly penile papules. Or just whatever makes you happy. Bye!